GSL Season 2.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the 2026 GSL Season 2 Round of 12 Group A Winners Match. We are here halfway through the broadcast as we just wrapped up with our first two series. Cure took down SOS 2-0, Shin took down Byun 2-0 as well, and now we have our first winners match to determine which of these two players will advance on into the round of 8 in first place out of Group A. Let's go. Let us go. We do have our Terran and Zerg player ready for us. We have Cure and Shin facing off in a best of 3. Now, we just experienced Shin's style in that last series versus Byun, which is more the same. If you've been watching Shin over the past year, like, this is where Shin thrives. It is a fast 2-base play. Sorry, I say fast. Late third base, heavy 2-base play into 2-base lair, whether it's 2-base into Roaches or 2-base into Mutas. That's where Shin does like to vary it up. Even 2-base Hydra as well. And we got to see both styles that of Shin against Byun. We'll see how Cure will adjust his approach here. We shall see. As we have our vetoes done, game 1 is going to be Winter Madness, game 2 Old Republic, game 3 White Rabbit. Interesting. Okay, when it comes to our vetoes here, Cure, he got rid of Taito, Celestial, and Mothership. He got rid of some of the larger maps in the map pool with some RNG factors with them as well. And we saw Shin get rid of all the smaller maps. Shin's vetoes look very standard. He got rid of 10,000 feet, Ruby Rock, and Tourmaline. Those are the three most aggressive maps in the map pool. They favor early sim timings, early bio pushes, early aggression from the Terran player. So it makes complete sense for Shin to take them away from Cure here as they load into our first game. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Green Terran player, we have the Blue Terran. For Team Liquid, it is Cure. And in the sub left hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, the runner up from last season of GSL, it is Shin. Here we go. We have our recent head-to-head here, offline in favor of Shin, online in favor of Cure. But again, that is the historical record between the two players. Now here we go, we're jumping into our fresh series here, and I'm curious to see how Cure will adjust his approach, already setting up on the low ground. Now, when it comes to Shin's play, as I was mentioning, I feel like the vetoes did kind of paint a story here. For Shin to get rid of Tourmaline, 10,000 feet, and Ruby Rock as well, tells us that Shin wants to get into Hive Tech. Like, that's what I read from that, at least. Shin is very fond of going into Roach play into Ultras into Hive Tech, or even Muta play into Hive Tech as well. Like, that is where Shin typically does end games, is with Hive Tech and is with Ultras, not earlier on. So it feels like he's cementing that fact here. Meanwhile, Cure, he should want to do damage early on. Ideally, we did try to point this out during the Byun series, but there are windows where Shin is vulnerable, like where he is vulnerable, you can try to hit a timing, go for an all-in, and break Shin early on. Byun was not able to hit any of these early timings. He didn't try to hit early timings or go for all-ins. He was being more reactive than anything and fighting for map control. We'll see if Cure is going to be more assertive, as I'm sure he was watching that series. Here, opening up 2-Rax Reaper. So 2-Rax Reaper at a Cure. This often leads into a 2-on-1 follow-up in the mid-game. So there's going to be layers of aggression here for Cure. There's going to be a bunch of timing attacks available to him. He will be hitting them as well. It'll be up to Shin to survive that. For now, Shin does open up for one of the first times here, an earlier gas. So he does go hatch into pool into gas, or hatch gas pool. I didn't quite get confirmation of the gas timing, but it does feel earlier than what we've been seeing so far with the amount of gas income we already have. Interesting. So Shin may play standard. He may go into link speed at a standard timing here. Yeah, it looks like hatch gas pool. Queens are amassing. Yep, Shin moving out for his third base. Reaper moves in. And we'll see if Cure can get any drone kills. See if he can catch any workers. Pokes forward. Shin pulls away. And we have our back and forth. Here. Catching up one Zergling so far. Second Reaper is revealed. Link speed is on the way, and I believe Shin is staying in gas. Yes, okay, Shin is staying in gas. Interesting. Now, it's very often, it's a very common response that Shin does love to go for is a Roach all-in after this, but he pulls out. Never mind, he pulls out of gas. So there's no all-in counterattack. No sign of that, at least not yet. Reapers, they confirm no gas income. Showing away the queens, picking up for his Zerglings. Dal's picking them up. I'll try to keep an eye on that gas income here for Shin. So far, still just 24 gas. I want to see when and if he pulls back in. As for now, Shin is just droning, saturating. We have a follow-up here. A third CC after the factory. So a 3 CC 2-on-1 setup here out of a Cure. And Shin stays out of gas. Okay, stays out of gas. He does go for the low ground expansion. Interesting choice, going for the more exposed base. Lings are being active. But again, Cure so far has had a better start. Cure's delayed the third base, disrupted the build, made it back home, defends against the Zerglings, building up into his stim timing. As you mentioned, that's kind of what we were alluding to here. We have the 3CC 2-on-1 follow-up here out of Cure, so he's going for stim timing with Master Marine and Medivacs. Cure, he might go Banshee for Medivacs. That is a choice that Cure has. They can make. Slaps the Overlord. Overlord did confirm the 3rd CC timing. So Shin has an idea, and it looks like it will be Banshee before Medivacs. Okay. Pulling a bit of a Maru. Maru and Beyond are very fond of this style. Of this variation, I should say. Going Banshee into Medivacs. It does mean that the Medivacs is going to be late, but because because this build is inefficient, usually that means a Shin won't have spores. Oh. As the Hellion gets caught. Hellion is caught out. The second Overlord still does fall. And here comes the main push. Banshee moves out so far, I believe, unscouted. Oh, I say that, but spores have been thrown down, so it looks... Yeah, he knows. Shin is where the Banshee is getting ready. He's getting ready for it. Cure does load up. And here comes his stim timing. And we'll see if Shin can hold on here. We'll see if he can save his 4th. The 4th base is going to be the target. Cure is moving in. No banelings to defend. It's going to be pure Ling Queen, and the Queens are out of position. Yeah, Lings are racing over, but it's too late. Yeah, it's too little too late. The base goes down. Massive pickup. Cure gets a 4th. Catching a Queen as well. Gets 1, gets 2. Just the 1. Just 1 Queen so far. Clutch save there out of Shin. Very clutch. And Shin does hold, but this is saying some heavy losses. As Cure now can just deny creep. No scan. Yeah, you saw him stim forward. He thought he had a scan available. Didn't have one. Was lacking the energy. Jesus. Medivac does pull away, and Cure pulls out. So far, so good. Cure does pull out. And now when it comes to Shin's build so far, we were alluding to it earlier, but it was a standard opener initially, so there's no early Roach War, no early Lair. Shin is still building up, just now getting his Lair timing going, so this looks like a very comfortable game for Cure. Cure's looking very comfortable. There's no early tech to worry about. Cure has momentum. He has control of the game so far. Cure's coming. At the same time, Shinny attempts to counterattack. Ooh. Gonna be denied. He is gonna be denied. And another base is going to fall here. Barely not. Still no bailing speed. Yeah, still no speed. Bailings, they waddle in. They will not connect. Massive tank shots on the bailings. Oh my god. Oh, one connects though. A bit of miscontrol. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there by Cure. Did take Bailings to the face, but in the end he still outtraded SHIN, and oh god, SHIN is just being torn apart. It's being torn apart here. As he does keep up with the drop on the left hand side. Bailing speed is now done. And Cure's not stopping. Cure is not slowing down. And we spoke about this at the start of this game, at the start of this series, how Beyond was kind of he was not being very aggressive in the last series. He wasn't like building up into these timing attacks and going for these early pushes. Cure is, like, from the beginning, with the initial 2-Rax Reaper into 2-1-1, into double tank push. Like, Cure has been very, very crisp with these timing attacks. And he's been shutting SHIN down. Even here, this is a messy defense here from SHIN. Will defend a nice link flank. Very nice flank. Oh god, but the drop comes back in. He just keeps going. Cure, he keeps going. He does not stop. You can see he's still rattling across. So you can see Cure, he does not skip a beat. And SHIN is struggling to defend. Has been struggling for the past couple of minutes. As I mentioned, as soon as we saw the standard build here by SHIN, it was like, oh, Cure's going to be very comfortable. And he has been. He's been very, very comfortable. Takes down the expansion. Shuts down the bailings. SHIN, he will lose his 4th. And there's no reason for Cure to stop. There's no reason to stop. Just going to keep going. Oof. As mine shots are connecting. Catching on more Zerglings. SHIN, he barely does survive here, does hold on. He holds on to his 3rd. And again, Cure is still in control. Still in control. But I should also emphasize that a lot of this came down to the build itself. Like, the build itself for SHIN was... It was a little more passive. A little more tame. So it allowed Cure to just run away with things. Run away with the game. Cure's aggression continues, dropping into the main base, distracting the main, pushing towards the 4th and the 5th at the same time. Nice target firing. Yeah, very nice. Does focus down some of those bailings, dragging the army to the mine shot. The mine shot goes off on the Hydras, and the 5th is going to be cancelled. Yeah, there's a cancellation on the 5th base. Drop is dealt with in the main. Cure now pushing towards the 3rd. Shows some mine shots. No friendly fire. And no force friendly fire, but it is forced to pick up. Cure is now maxed. Oof. As we get another mine shot. Oh no! Oh god. Once again on the Hydras. They catch an empty medevac. That's still not good enough. And Cure's maxed. He's maxed out. And again, SHIN has just been struggling for the past, what, 5-6 minutes? It's been holding on. Holding on. As Cure commits on the left. Once again, SHIN doesn't have the supply to defend both locations at once. Not well enough. This is a minefield. Base out 1 with a mine so far. Oof. Yeah, mine shot's going to be going up. Does strike the mines. Cure kites well. And once again, SHIN is barely holding on. Cleaned up all the widow mines, true. Did clean up all the mines. What's important here is that SHIN does save his 4th and now is retaking a 5th. For the first time in a long time, he's trying to get his 5th base up and running. Is there a world where SHIN can stabilize? If SHIN can survive until lurker tech, like if we can get a handful of lurkers out, then SHIN can hold. I should say he can hold and he can force Cure to back up and give him some breathing room. So we're just trying to buy time until lurkers. Lurker den is on the way. Hive is almost done. Can SHIN get to the lurkers? If he can, then he's still in this game. He's still in this game. It's been a rough game, but There's a chance. There is hope. As these attacks from Cure have not been getting anywhere near as much damage this time. Yeah, nowhere near as much. The Widowmine field that we saw earlier was lackluster. It was like 6 Widowmines and only 1 connection. As the army's clumping. And a mine shot yet. Then counterattack at the third base. Cure is in position. Shin collapses in. Mine shots do not go off. And Shin is holding. Here come the lurkers. Shin is almost there. Yo, Shin is so tenacious. Like, again, just like last game, actually, the game 2 versus Beyond, where Shin, like, he's had a really hard time, but he surrounds the army. 0 medevacs to get away. Better fight for Shin. That was the first good fight for Shin in a long time. Take some more efficient engagements. And now there's 4 lurkers out. And now that he defends. As I mentioned before, like, once you get into lurker attack, you can slow the game down, and he is. No shot. Shin is slowing the game down. Now, thankfully, Cure, he's already working towards Liberators. He already has a handful of them. That'll be ideal. Up next should be Ghosts. But Cure, he's not ready for Ghost production. And Shin, again, he had to fight so hard for his 5th. But now he's got his 5th, and now he's thinking about his 6th base. 6th base is getting up. This game that was firmly in control of Cure for the past, like, what, 13 minutes, is now slipping away. Is now slowly it's slipping away in favor of Shin. Now, I will still say that Shin's lurker count is low. I think he only has 3. Only 3 lurkers. Lurkers, right now, they're the backbone to his defense in certain areas, and with a lower lurker count, that does give Cure the opportunity to push in. Oh, free Widowmines. Gets 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 Widowmines go down. Scans for the lurkers. At the same time, we do see Shin collapsing on the drop. He wants a medevac. Doesn't quite get it. Yeah, not quite. Ooh, very nice mine shots. Mine shot goes up, manages to roll into the mineral line. He wants a planetary, and he will get it. Doesn't get the SCVs, but does get the planetary at the same time. Ooh, do you have the counterattack? Double power bomb here on the medevacs. Oof. Medevacs a stack. Shin is fighting back. Now morphing in a fresh set of lurkers. 5 lurkers on the way. Shin taking the center expansion. We now have a game. We have a back and forth. Again, it was messy. It was not clean. It was not a clean game. It was very, very messy, but Shin very much so is in this. He's now up to 8 lurkers. Where's the Ghost Academy, by the way? Still no ghosts. And to be fair, you can still make this work with Mass Liberator, but it's not easy. So we're just heavily reliant here on Mass Lib. Hold position. He's on hold position. Oh my god! Massive shots going off. He was on hold position, Pappy. Not the best connections with the lurkers, as it was a split towards the start of that. But regardless, nice moves. Jesus, here comes the mass freedom zones. That's a lot of freedom. Show some power bombs. Ooh, there's a kill, not a cancel. There's a kill, not a cancel. You know, that's 15 liberators. Jesus. Shin, he has to catch the army either unsieged or without the liberators. Shin is holding off. Now since the main base got spotted. As again, mass liberation has arrived. Whether it's power bombs or reductions, we are heavily reliant here on these Vipers. As there is no Spire, there are no Corruptors. Gets one. Catches one Liberator. Lunging forward. A gets two, gets three, gets four. Ooh, there is left behind. Yeah, Liberators are abandoned. Better engage for SHIN. Lurkers are coming from behind with the Nidus. Okay. As Lings, they collapse in the army. Lurkers pushing further in, catching out some of the SCVs they stack. The SCVs are stacking. Ooh, 10 SCVs going down. And the Lurkers, they waddle away. They waddle away, pappy. He's fighting his heart out. Throughout the production has begun. SHIN is still lacking a bank though. That's what's really hurting him here. Again, he had to fight so hard for his 5th base. At this point, he's running out of money. He needs time to rebuild. Oh, Planetary's not done. Not bad. Likewise, ooh, does in some power bombs. One Viper goes down. Ooh, that's gonna be what, 3, 4, 5? 5 Liberators. Oh my god. Again, at one point we had 15 Liberators. Now we're down to 5. Down to 5 Liberators. Trying to collapse in, catching us some of the ghosts. Oh, but we need more Ling Bane. We need more Ling Bane. There's not enough. Yeah, none of Ling Bane. Curious breaking through. Looks like he may have just done it. Yeah, just rallying reinforcements across the map, and SHIN does not have enough buffer for his army. Rallies over the Infestor, and CranKy will finally overwhelm. Again, CranKy was in control of the majority of this game, then he lost that momentum, he lost that lead. SHIN, he recovered, and then we had the back and forth, and GG gets called. Cure does overwhelm, and Cure, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG, well played. Cure will take a lead in the series, but again, still a series, still a back and forth. There's still more games to come. But again, impressive comeback there from SHIN. Again, SHIN, he was dead. He was dead in the water. Like the first, what, 13, 14, 15 minutes? It was rough. SHIN, he was on the back foot. He was just taking so many hits to the face. But he recovered, and I was very impressed. Very impressed that he got into his high tech, got into his lurker tech, and SHIN made a game out of it. He made a game out of it in the end. In the end, of course, what really hindered him was his lack of economy, lack of map control, lack of map presence, and just lack of mining, of course. But he was able to hold his own for a time and was able to make Cure work for it. GG. GG, well played with that. Cure takes the lead in the series. Now we're going to be loading into the Old Republic. Let's go. Let us go. And again, our assumptions here is that Cure is going to keep up the momentum. Remember, game 1 began with 2-Axe Reaper into 2-1-1 into double tank timing follow-up as well afterwards. Like just bam, 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 like timing after timing after timing. Cure was just non-stop there in the face of SHIN. But here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran. For Team Liquid, it is Cure. In the top right-hand corner, we have SHIN, the Red Zerg. Here we go, as this time Cure, he does not open 2-Axe Reaper. So instead we have the setup on the high ground here for Cure. But he does send out 2 SCVs. Okay, so it's not 2-Axe Reaper, it is proxy 2-Axe Marine though. So it is going to be that bunker rush. 2-Axe is upon us, assuming there's no third SCV. Oh, there is. Oh, never mind. So we thought it was going to be a 2-Axe. No, it's going to be 3-Axe. So 3-Axe bunker rush here from Cure. Hyper committed, hyper aggressive. And we'll see if SHIN can scout this with the Overlord. You can see the first Overlord pushing through the center. So the first Overlord will fail to scout. Second Overlord should be outside of the natural. Now, for those that are curious how this works, Cure should only reveal the first 2 SCVs, and Cure, he wants SHIN to pull the boys. He wants him to pull the boys to defend, and he wants SHIN to chase with the boys out off of creep to chase the Marines and to chase the SCVs. Like, that's what he wants. If SHIN overreacts, if he overcommits in such a way, which is the correct thing to do against a proxy 2-Axe, then bam, it's revealed that it's a 3-Axe actually, and there are extra Marines. Then it gets punished, drones go down, and everything just snowballs out of control. So this can end. This can kill if SHIN reads this wrong and if he overcommits. So we'll see how SHIN reacts to the initial Marines when they reveal themselves. And as we mentioned, as you can see here, Cure, he intentionally only shows 2 SCVs. So he shows 2 workers, sets up the bunkers, Shin pulls away the Overlord. Ooh, and we have a Roach Warren response. Okay. Shin, he does not pull the boys. He does not pull the boys. He does not save his natural. The natural will be under fire. The bunker will finish. Oh, does catch 2 Zerglings. 3rd SCV is revealed. And Shin, he will lose his natural. He'll lose the natural base. And Shin's goal here is to break out with an all-in, with a Roach base all-in. Lings, they try to escape. They do. 3 Lings barely slip by. Now Cure has to devote to a defense back at home. So big moment there for Shin. Big moment. Marines are just out. Oh, they just said there's only 1 Ling left. Oof. Nice interception there by Cure. Shin is in trouble. He is in trouble. As Roach production has begun, Lair is on the way. That should be for the Nidus Worm. Roach takes some hits, but they can morph into Ravagers, so it's okay. They can morph into Ravagers. So this should be one of 2 things: either Drop Lords or Nidus Worm, one or the other. There is 1 Zergling across the map for vision. Marauder production has begun. Cure is getting a 2nd bunker just to make sure he secures that low ground. There is an Overlord for Shin outside of the natural base of Cure. You can see it behind the natural. So that would be a way to get a Nidus Worm. And speaking of, there it is, Nidus Worm in the main. As we mentioned, like as soon as you saw the lair, it screams Nidus. Now, 2 things are going to happen. When the Nidus Worm gets across the map and when Cure hears it, that may trigger him to push up the ramp. Because Shin should have supply dedicated to the Nidus. So it's going to be a weaker ramp and a weaker defense. So Shin has to be careful how and when he does Nidus. I believe Cure did not scout the lair, so he's not fully aware of what's going on. And there it is, Nidus into the main. And Nidus into the main base. And Cure, how does he respond? Does he rush up the ramp? Does he lift the CC and evacuate? There's 1 bile. He goes, yeah, now it's go time. Bile's on cooldown. No, he should have biled. Bile's on cooldown. Massive pickoffs. There's 1 bile. Doesn't land. Ooh, and so far, so good. Whew. And there we go. Does get across the map. That should prompt Cure. Cure goes to the base raid. No Ravagers, and he breaks through the Roaches. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. There's 2 Roaches left. Shin defends. Yeah, Shin, he comes back into. Oh, massive bile connects. And that's the end of the all-in. That's the end of Cure's all-in. That was an insane battle in the army. GG gets called, and we're going to the ace match. Whew. GG, well played. Really smart play there by Shin, as he never intended to commit with the Nidus Worm, but every time he used the Nidus Worm, he forced Cure's hand, right? He forced Cure to push up the ramp, and Shin, he was so quick to come back, right? To come back through the Nidus Worm, to come back home to defend, to take a better fight. Landed that, of course, insane bile, and with that, GG, we have a tied up series. We're going to the ace match. Whew, we're going to the ace match. Again, Cure, he had nothing to defend against that Nidus Worm, so he had to respect it, he had to react to it. Crucial that Shin still had an Overlord across the map, of course. True. Did have that 1 Overlord. And with that, we're getting into game 3. We're gonna be leading into White Rabbits. Let's see how it goes. Here we go. We're getting ready here for that 3rd and final game. We have our back and forth so far. And how do we approach game 3? As in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Team Liquid. It is Gear. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. It is Shin. They just don't like to talk about the players. But here we go. Here we go. We're going to be opening up. Welcome to White Rabbit. White Rabbit is a larger map. Larger map of the map pool. Longer rush distance by ground. But of course does have the bases spread and split. As a result of that, we do have the base. There's a lot of space in between the bases, of course. A lot of space, a lot of area. And this does mean that if you fail to keep up with rotations in a longer and later game, then whoever has map control will have the advantage. They have a bigger advantage here on White Rabbit due to how difficult it can be to rotate defensively in between all these bases. Here we go. As we once again have Shin going back to basics, hatch, pool, later gas geyser. This I do like. So late gas geyser out of Shin, this does scream roach play. It does scream roach, or I say roach play, it screams early lair or early roaches, it screams lack of link speed as we're going for delayed gas. This is kind of Shin's bread and butter, it's what he's best at. I appreciate that we get to see it here. In game 3. As we get to see this entire series. True. As from here, we're just going to be opening up. Likewise, I should also mention that Cure, he is going for his own standard opener as well. No crazy 2x Reaper or anything of the sort. Just opening up. As the Reaper does break in, pokes in, pulls away. Likewise, Shin gets across the map. Oh. Gets across, disrupting the build somewhat here, delaying the CC for a couple of seconds, but nothing major. Bearing in mind, Shin did go for the earlier pull. And oh, we actually have link speed. Okay, so I was making some assumptions here when it came to delayed link speed. The fact that we're getting to link speed tells me that just like we saw against Bjorn, this is looking like fast lair, and it's looking like mutaplay. As we're at 3, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, we should see the lair soon. Oh no, that's an early Eva. Wait, what? Early Eva chamber. Okay, yeah, my attention. Very fast Eva chamber. It's a 3cc, it's 3cc into Banshee player, into Starport. Standard economic build here by Cure, but Shin, he's shifting, he's mixing things up quite a bit here. He's shifting gears. Reaper does confirm gas income and also confirms link speed. Really fast pulse on Carapace out of Shin. Interesting. This is ideal against 2-1-1s, not ideal against what Cure's going for. Hellions, they bust in. Drone's going to be going down. 4 drone kills already. 5 drone... Oh, God, this is going to get ahead. 5 drone kills. And again, Shin, he's... this build is lackluster. So, winding it back here, we spoke about it earlier. So, fast Evo Chamber and fast pulse and Carapace. This is ideal if your opponent's going for these earlier stint timings, but that's not what's happening here. We just keep rallying Hellions and there are no links to defend. Oh, my God. Yeah, more damage being dealt. One more volley. 7 drones. Nice damage by Cure. And we have the Banshee follow-up. So this is just a big risk, a big gamble here from Shin. And so far, it's not paying off. As Shin, he's being quite greedy, actually. This Banshee does break forward. Ah, Cloak isn't done yet. Yeah, Cloak is done in 10 seconds, which means the spores will finish. Shin is holding on. His holding is defending, now going for a later lair. Again, the earlier gas income apparently was for 1-1 upgrades. Cure is gaining map control. He's getting control. Hellions, they poke in once again. As we mentioned before, there are barely any Lings to defend. They bust through the Lings. Now they get into the mineral line. Oh, quick Evo chamber. Drones are lined up, but alas, the Hellions were not fast enough. We'll deny the expansion though. The base goes down. Mining is delayed. Hellions, they go for the dive. Drones are lining up. Do we get them? Five drones already. Six drone kills and is now the expansion. Again, this is still worth it for Cure. It's all worth it. It's all worth it as Lings, they move in once again. Collapsing on top of the Marines. Getting into the mineral line. Nice counterattack here as SCVs are going down. Okay, some very good counter damage. Takes down 10 SCVs. And even though Cure's had a really good early game, killing so many drones, suddenly all that work, all that payoff, what was it for? To lose 10 SCVs. SHIN's back in this. SHIN is back in this game. So again, a very nice thing. Counterattack. Now going to Infestors. Oh, but he still cannot take a fourth. Oh my god. SHIN still cannot expand. Banshees, they poke in across the map. They will be deflected, but still 2 drone kills. And the Banshees, oh, they say it in. This is not defend. The wall is still open. Yeah, the wall is still wide open. Lings, they flood into the natural, into the main as well. But they do flood in. Catching another 9 SCVs. And a full scout and dragging the army back home as well. Brutal damage. This Ling harass is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. Curie's had enough, he's pushing. Yeah, he's had enough defending. He just wants to push. He just wants to move out. Does have a decent army, but this army is smaller than what it should be due to all the economic damage, right? He's had to rebuild all those workers, whereas we could have had more money for more units. Lings the third once again, and there's nothing to defend, even forcing friendly fire. 9 SCV kills. Kirky was doing so well. Getting out more workers. Sure, he does take down the expansion at least. Brings down the base. Ooh. Does bring the base down. Once again, Link counterattack. This time there are some Marines in position, but they're going to be overwhelmed. They will be catching up the fresh mules as well. Once again, collapsing the Marines. Trying to force friendly fire. Oof. And yeah, Kirky will lose everything here at the third, time and time again. And now we have Infestors. Ooh, 2 Infestors go down. Miscontrol there by... Oh my god. 3 Infestors full. A shaky defense here by SHIN. Infestors here would be amazing, by the way. There's only one fungal. Only one fungal lands. SHIN's in trouble. Again, he could have held here if he had preserved those Infestors, but... SHIN with some brutal miscontrol. You have extended, you got punished. And now Cure might still break through. You might still be able to break through here. SHIN is in danger. Forced to engage. Is fighting out of range of the tanks. Oof. Marines, they stim in. They capture the queens. Nice fungal. Very nice fungal. As things, they just keep counterattacking, catching up more SCVs. Once again, they force friendly fire. 5 SCVs going down. And at this point, it's very messy. It's a very, very, very messy defense here. Just a messy game in general. 2 more Infestors on the way. Ultra production has begun. Hive is complete. But again, this should have been a cleaner defense here for SHIN. Oh god. Yeah, Lings, they failed to get much damage here. They Just cause a distraction. Curie just keeps on pushing. The Ultras have potential, the Fungals as well, but we gotta make them count. We need to make them count here. Otherwise, oh my god, catching one Infestor. Fungal does not land. Yeah, they want Fungal there. Messy defense, and Curie's done it. Curie's done his breaking through. The Ultras, the upgrades are lacking. Plus transfuse, but the Ultra goes down. There's one Ultra left. And the Mass Marine, the man with gun, it's too much. Oh, we do have a lot of transfuse though. We have plenty of transfuse available. The Ultra should not go down. And Shinny's barely holding on. Oof. So we get some retargeting. The Lings are trickle into their deaths. 19 drone kills. Shin is hurting immensely here, and Cure is almost maxed. He's almost maxed. Breaking further out. And I'll be honest, all this came down to Shin losing those 3 Infestors. He had 4 Infestors to defend, and to lose 3 Infestors without getting a single Fungal prematurely, like, that was insane. That would have been such a clean defense with all those Fungals. But again, Shin slipped up. Lost the Infestors, lost the fight, lost the base. Let out more units, and it all just snowballed out of control from there. And now Cure, he breaks the center expansion, and now he has more Marauders. He has an anti-Ultra army. Plenty of Marauders. At this point, Shin can't engage. Even with a Fungal, that's not going to be enough. Oh no, there's nothing to kill. There's nothing here. Cure stems in. Again, he wants those Ultras. Fungal grazes the army. Again, nice free split here by Cure. And GG gets called. Cure overwhelms the army, and Cure, he will claim the series 2-1. Coming out in first place out of Group A. GG. GG, well played, Cure. He will claim the series. He will advance on into the round of 8 in first place here out of Group A. Again, Shin, he was able to hold his own for a time. I say for a time. For the most part, I would say that Shin, he was in control of this game for the first half, where he was counterattacking, he was harassing, and he had the tools to defend. But again, he had that miscontrol. He had that overextension. When he pushed forward with those 4 Infestors into tank range, he lost 3 Infestors. He lost 3 full Infestors as well. They were full of energy. And upon losing that, that meant that he had no defense. He was heavily reliant on this Fungals to defend back at home. Without them, he could not defend, and we had a very shaky follow from there. Suddenly Cure gained momentum, he gained map control. Suddenly Cure was in the driver's seat, and Shin could not recover, not after that moment. Yes, he did survive until Hive Tech, he survived until Ultras, but the economy was lacking, the supply was lacking. Like, he stumbled his way into Ultras, and it was not enough. GG, well played with that. Cure, he will advance on in first place, and now we're getting ready for our winners match. I can't wait to hear I can't wait to hear Tasteless say, how far do you think you're gonna go? I'm hoping that both States and Tasteless have some better questions this time. They're notoriously very generic when it comes to what they've said so far. I hope that we can get a little bit more out of our players. Let's go. I know. So I'll let him know. As it looks like we don't
일단 김도호
have their audio.
선수 1위 진출 축하드리고요. 일단 첫 번째 질문으로는 김유진 선수와의 이제 대결에서 좀 질문드릴 게 있어요. 아무래도 김유진 선수와의 대결에서 굉장히 좀 수비적으로 일관하시면서 굉장히 천천히 나아가는 플레이를 선보이셨는데, 지금 그게 이제 태프전의 좀 메타라고 생각하시는지, 아니면은 김유진 선수를 대비한 좀 맞춤 전략이라고 좀 생각하시는지 궁금하네요.
일단 처음에 유진이 형이 무슨 빌드를 쓸지 솔직히 감이 안 와가지고 일단 좀 수비적으로 마인드를
All right,
바꾸면서
we hear the answer at
수비적으로
least.
해야겠다 이런 생각은 가지고 있었는데 저도 상황이 좀 처음 나와보는 상황들이다 보니까 그냥 결국 평소에 하던 운영을 하게 됐는데 유진이 형이 아무래도 평소에 질럿 추적자 거신 위주로 게임을 하시다 보니까 중후반 갈수록 저한테 좀 힘이 실린 것 같아요.
Yeah, I mean, against SOS is actually you cannot expect what to face. So, that being said, I try to be defensive as possible, to just slow down and try to be macro as possible. So now to be more defensive, I think I get to face the situations that I never faced before. So that kind of makes me to stick with the macro even more, and then be just turtle and be defensive. And then in a macro play, I think I get more advantage. And considering his play style, so yeah, I think that's the reason I got the advantage there.
Looks like he was just asked about SOS.
Congratulations on winning today. You got top 4 in Season 1. What are your plans or expectations going for in Season 2?
It's literally the same question. How far do you think you will go? God damn it. Every time.
시즌에서는 또 목표가 있다면 좀
아이,
어디까지
아이, 아이.
목표를 잡고 있으신지 궁금합니다.
목표라기보단 저번 시즌의 마지막에 준비를 좀 잘못된
If I ask him about the players in the Renovates,
좀 더 준비 잘 해가지고
specifically about his TvT against
첫 시즌
Maru.
4강 갔으니까 결승까지 가보고 싶습니다.
Yeah, last season, yeah, I get some regrets on the preparation process for the semifinals and the semifinals. So that being said, I'll try to get more on the right direction as possible to prepare for the next stage and get the trophy.
All right, well, congratulations. Good luck to you in the future of the tournament.
네, 감사합니다.
네, 감사합니다.
Aye. There we go. Here we go. But again, sorry, just trying to get the interview questions in while I could. But with that, GG well played. With that, Kira does claim this series looks like, again, he was asked specifically about his TVP. I would have preferred a question regarding SHIN's ZBT. I would have loved to have heard from Kira's perspective if he saw how SHIN played against Maru and against Bjorn, and how he felt like he had to adjust his approach coming into this series, which in my opinion is, you know, a more aggressive nature and earlier timing attacks, and just being in the face of SHIN and not leaving him alone. But it would have been nice to have heard from his perspective nonetheless. Regardless, we're not going to be going on a break. When we come back, we'll have the elimination match. Up next is going to be Bjorn versus SOS in a best of 3. See you then. See you soon.